My childhood was quite mixed. I had mixed feelings in my childhood, but I saw world, and I was always interested in people. I never had some concrete idea what I want to do, but I always felt that the world is so big that you can touch any part of the world.
Did you have already something in hand here in Dubai that, like, how did you choose Dubai out of the whole world?
I'm a finance person. I need to have a system. Otherwise, I don't.
Checklist.
Yes, I have checklist. I'm fond of to-dos. You laugh, and every day I have to do. Even in my bag with me now, I have a book with to-dos every day. I can show you. Having Russian passport, I can't have a permit to live everywhere, unfortunately. So it's quite limited number of places, because I made a decision that no matter what, I will try. I will give myself this try to shift from the corporate world to business world, no matter what. Just like allow yourself to follow the feeling.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Be Your Own Boss. If you have an idea and you want to be your own boss, you need someone to guide you through that process. You need someone who's an expert at the business strategy, the finance part of it, and in today's day and world, definitely digital. And that's exactly who we have today on our show. Our guest this week is Katerina Zemskova, the business strategist, finance expert, and digital transformation expert. Katerina, welcome to the Be Your Own Boss podcast.
My pleasure.
So let's begin. Let's start out, like we always do on the Be Your Own Boss podcast, we always start with your journey right from the beginning. So if you could just tell us about your parents, your siblings, where were you born? Let's start with that.
Thank you. I'm a bit nervous because actually it's third time in my life interview happening to me, but it's my pleasure. It's my first interview in Dubai and first interview in English.
And I think also my first interviewing Russian. So.
Russian, yeah. Yes, basically I'm from Russia. I was born and raised in Moscow. My family, my parents are engineers. My basic education, first education was energy engineer, and then second was finance and was finance MBA. And then I joined a big international company that was into logistics. And in 18 years old, I was so lucky. My first SAP HANA, SAP ERP, that time HANA was not introduced in the market. SAP ERP development happened with that company, and it like that in my life very organically came digital. And then I became agile expert. Also, I had education in agile, and then it's ecology. So during my life, the more different spheres of profession I touched, the more I felt that I need some knowledge. That's why I got some more education. So basically, I was born and raised in Moscow, and my career was in corporate. I was in top 2 Russian telecom company, and I started there as a financial analyst. And in around 10 years, I became deputy CFO, and then I became the, yes, quite young lady. Yeah, but I always felt that it was so natural. I really loved what I do, and it's my passion. Numbers, technologies, projects, I just adore transform ideas to reality. It's my passion, and that's what I was doing always, even working in corporate. I was lucky enough to understand what I like, and inside corporate life, sometimes people are struggling that they can't do what they like. Me, I can say that I managed to persuade management that I will always do projects. I was making digital transformation in finance, being in finance. Then I became head of digital transformation of the whole top telecom company. And then I became chief operating officer of the whole IT holding inside big holding near top 2 telecom company. There was a big IT holding, so I became chief operating officer and part of board of directors of technology holding. There was cybersecurity, development companies, different companies. And it was so always organically working with people, because projects, it's all about cooperation with people.
About people.
Yeah, it's about team and people.
If we can go one step back, a few
course.
steps back,
Of
actually, growing up in Moscow as a child, when you were did you think that you will be successful in so successful in a corporate leader, or did you think that you'll become an entrepreneur? What did you want to become as a child?
My childhood was in the time when country was changing. Actually, I was born in USSR, and my childhood was already in Russia, and it was quite a difficult time, honestly speaking, especially for my parents, because everything was changing. I was a child, I didn't understand so much, and my parents were engineers. They all their lives they're working in energy sector in power station, the hugest power station in Moscow. My father was head of electricity, my mom of chemistry, so they were very experienced professionals. And in these hard times, there were problems with salaries, there were problems to survive, honestly speaking, not very easy time. And my father made a decision to go to India, and all my family shifted to India and to Bangladesh for years. So a few years in India, a few years in Bangladesh, and he was a part of a Russian team who was helping to construct power stations there. Yes, so I was living there, and I started my education there. I started learning English there. Yeah, so my childhood was quite mixed. I had mixed feelings in my childhood, but I saw world, and I was always interested in people. I never had some concrete idea what I want to do, but I always felt that the world is so big that you can touch any part of the world. Thanks to my parents, I had this feeling. And when we came back to Russia, I just followed the normal education stream. They wanted me to see me in energy because they are from there. I graduated from university. I worked even a little bit, but then I understood that I want more in some progressive stream where technologies are introduced. And at that time in Russia, it was only telecom industry, only telecom. It was like, digital technologies, it was on top because telecom was very fast growing. And that's why I decided to mix inside the telecom, that to touch, to have communication with people and to touch the technology there.
Wow. And what a career, right? Like in a corporate world, you were like quickly moving up because of the passion to work with people. Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. And by the way, where in India were you?
We were living first in Delhi when we just moved, and then second part of our stay was in Bangladesh, in Dhaka, because this power station was not far from Dhaka, and that's why they constructed like a small community for Russian people who came with their families, and it was, like guarded area, just 6 buildings. 5-story buildings, like small ones, and a small yard in between.
Yeah.
And we were living like in just this closed area, but we had swimming pool, open swimming pool, weather is brilliant, fruits. So being a child, it was perfect childhood. Now I understand my parents at that years, how they risked it. It was quite a risk.
Yeah.
Now I can understand, but I so respect them that they took this risk, they took their small kids, because it was me and my younger sister. I had 4 years younger sister than me. They took us. I was 5, she was 1 or 2, so we were quite
God.
small. They took us,
Yeah.
and yes, we came and lived there.
Wow, wow. And hats off to them for taking such bold steps for the family, right? They did all that to make sure that you guys have a bright future, and you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. And so you were growing in Moscow, you were in the corporate world, in the telecom industry, you were the digital transformation officer. And how did things progress from there? Like,
Yeah, then I joined inside the same group of companies, but I wanted to go further into technologies, because one thing when you introduce the technologies inside the company, and another thing when you can develop and decide how the products will look like, and that's why I was more interested to go into technology holding, to have opportunity to create products more, and that's why I became a member of board of directors of 4 companies and chief operating officer of the holding of it. That included cybersecurity, IT actives, factory for IT, so different IT active of the same group of companies. But later, many things happened. I I'm far from politics that just say that. Many things happened, and I think my inner transformation also came to such level that I understood that it's time that to make a step forward, because it happened so that from one side I'm in Moscow in a big company with big opportunities, but from another side it's only one country. I always felt that world is bigger than one country. And I understood that at that point of time, it was very hard to do worldwide projects being there, unfortunately, honestly speaking. Unfortunately, I never planned that it will happen like that, but it happened like that. And that's why it was quite unusual decision for me. I'm a very stable person. I was working there nearly 14 years, so I'm a very stable person. And then I decided that it's time to give yourself one more try. And actually, we packed four luggages. All the life was packed there. I took my daughter, and we changed the country. So
Wow.
she joined English-speaking school after Russian-speaking school. We find space here in Dubai, and now it's...
So you moved from Moscow to Dubai just like that, like packed everything and decided one day that you're going to move to Dubai.
just like that.
Wow. How old was your daughter that time?
And now she is 10. That time she was 7.
Wow. And how did she, like, what did she feel about this?
Oh, she's a hero of the story, honestly speaking. I really respect that she is so smart in her ages. For her, it was quite difficult because this is the age when kids just start having the friends, yes? They just start liking what they have. They start understanding that. At 7, 8, it's just this age when they start being teenagers step by step. And for her to change all the friends, the country, the language, first year was difficult for her. English-speaking school, she was upset. She didn't understand everything. Thanks God, she met some few Russian-speaking kids there, and they helped her to be adjusted to this, yes. But then now she likes, and for her, she has 2 countries. She has a country where grandparents there. She enjoys always to go there to see them, but she has her second home, and now she feels like she has 2 homes.
Yeah, and she has her friends here, so
Yeah.
that's nice. Yeah. And so for you, when you moved, from your career perspective, like, did you have already something in hand here in Dubai that, like, how did you choose Dubai out of the whole world?
When you ask me this question, I understand that I can sound a little bit illogical, because I feel that we are, as human beings, we always mix of our logics and how we feel inside. That's very important for me. It's not very obvious even for me. But that time, so I had 2 ideas. First of all, I wanted to find a new place in the world. And I understood that I had a list of criteria. I'm a finance person. I need to have a system. Otherwise, I don't. Yes, I had checklist. I'm fond of to-dos. You laughing? Yeah. Every day I have to do, even in my bag with me now, I have a book with to-dos. Every day I can show you. So I had a checklist of the place, of the criteria that I can check choosing their place to live. It was, for example, opportunity to have visa or long-term permit, because having Russian passport, I can't have a permit to live everywhere, unfortunately. So it's quite limited number of places. Then I wanted to have opportunity to make my own business and register it under my name, because I made a decision that no matter what, I will try. I will give myself this try to shift from the corporate world to business world, no matter what. Just like allow yourself to follow the feeling. No. And then I had the criteria of English language, because only English is my second language that I really use to communication, to work. I know basic French and Spanish, but for sure it's not enough to work. Then it was climate. I wanted sea, sun. Sun is like, my source of energy. I wanted sun. Maybe it's hard to believe, but for example, in Moscow, I was sometimes counting the sunny days, because it's so less that if you wake up and you see the sun, it's a miracle, sun is there. And here, first year, I was every day checking, is sun there? And every day, sun is there, sun again is there. Now I got you, sun is always there.
Yeah.
But the first days I was checking. So it was like list of criteria, and based on this list of criteria, I shortlisted some places in the world that I can live. But it was very important also for me to be not very far from my parents and from my family. So 4 or 5 hours of flight is okay, but if it's like 12, 20, it starts being difficult because I want to see them. I want them to come, and it's very hard when you are very far in different time zone. Very difficult to maintain the relations. So based on that, I decided, okay, Dubai, let's try.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I love the logical, I mean, you said we think by logic and emotions, but then here is a very clear, checklist of things that and when you mention all this, right, it also helps us realize like, wow, what a place Dubai is, right?
Yeah.
All these things are possible in Dubai. We are not very far from home. The weather is good, and all that, like the sun. I mean, the source of energy. We have plenty of sun.
That's
And
true.
the whole process of like how you decided is beautiful.
Thank you.
So
This was easy.
yeah, so you came here, and then you didn't look for a job. You just wanted to come here and start your own business, or did you do something before that, like start your job or something?
When I came, I didn't want to look for a job. And I had an idea. I gave myself like 1 year to settle anyway. And I started trying all the opportunities. Honestly speaking, when I came, I did not know even anybody. I had few names who my friends told me that, some of my friends, they live in Dubai. Maybe if you need what if, you just go and talk to them, just have to have first contacts in the place. So I had few names who I can meet. Thanks God, there are a lot of conferences here, business clubs and so on. So first of all, I was trying to how it's called, networking. Just tried to find people this first time and just try to understand what's going on. And I tried different things. Thanks that I had a good reputation of high-level project person, but even I'm high-level person, I'm hands-on. So I'm still can do tables myself, no problem, business model for project, and even I like it. When I start, before giving to team some crucial things, I do myself because I feel like that how the shape of the business will be, and then I will give it to operational team and so on. So at that time, I had some people who were interested to start some business in Dubai. So I felt, okay, some freelance projects I can do. And I had few projects. Then I met a very good person, the lady who became my partner, and we started marketing. She already had marketing company. I just joined them, and there was marketing journey, and we made projects together in marketing. So I was a part of this team as a strategic advisors, sometimes operations. So I was like, trying me as a consultant from different shapes. I was trying to find my shape. I was trying different things, but I can say that only after a few years, I started feeling what is the demand, is real demand here. And for me, the biggest opening, the biggest demand on where you are real. So I'm real and I'm very professional in projects, in digital, and in finance. And actually now, we have family with my husband, management consultancy company, where I'm head of management consulting, and he is head of operations and recruitment. So this company doing both management consulting and recruitment. As a CFO, I'm in his B2B cleaning business, and we are making our own startups platforms with partners. So we have technology startups. So actually, 3 of my passions, Dubai gave me space to do that. But it took time. I can't say that, it was like that. It took time.
And do you, like, because there are these 3 different roles, right? Do you keep switching? How do you manage, like, wearing all these 3 hats and switching between?
I don't know. Only time management, I would say. I'm a very structured person. I have one book. It's like book where I structure all the goals, all the priority, all the schedule for the day, all the projects. Everything structured there. And through this system, I always have very clear mind map in my mind where are priorities, where are key functions that we need to do to grow one, this. So for each and every week, for example, on Sunday, we sit and discuss at home, inside family, that what are our key business priorities for next week. The same we make with our partners on Monday or with staff, like this week are these goals and focuses. And each of us, being a part of the team, we try to reach the goal from every side. And like this, it works.
Wow. That's good. I mean, I like that's the structured approach, and it also reflects like how you chose Dubai, right? The structured approach, you also have that. So you're a very well organized person. When you help startups, right? Like you help people to come up with ideas and people who come with ideas. So can you tell us, like here in Dubai, what kind of ideas do people bring, and how how is it that journey from going from having an idea to actually having a business? That's what you help them with, right?
Yeah. Here in Dubai, I could say that there are two spheres, and it's like adepts of different spheres. One, they prefer technology, and there are a lot of different technology sphere projects in Abu Dhabi, in Dubai, in Sharjah, now everywhere. It's really growing community of technology entrepreneurs. And being a part of that, I can say that people from all over the world, and even from here, they come with idea and start developing. Development team can be mostly in India, can be here, can be in their native countries. So there, the type of consulting that is required a bit different. This is one sphere, and I will say second, and then I will summarize. Second sphere is physical business, and these are people who believe in something concrete. So they prefer restaurant or gym or some yoga studio or beauty salon because they understand this business and they want to introduce this business on the market. Usually people prefer either this or this. We work with both, and I could say that when we support technology projects, it's mostly about business modeling. It's about worldwide development, because Dubai is a great place from where you can start working with technology all over the world. So to create this strategy, to create finance, to create pitch deck. So it's mostly how to shape the idea to fit the market, not only here, but also worldwide. If we speak about the physical projects, usually investors are coming to us, or owners who want to launch something, and they can say, for example, I want beauty salon in Jumeirah. Yes, and here from scratch we agree that we become like launching team, and because we already launched salons also, and we launched different projects, and we know all the stages. It's like project map. Again, very structured project map. And each and every stage you have different tasks. First stage, to understand the business model, to understand the areas rent, to find the space. Second, legal structure, to summarize everything with a document, branding, name.
Company, register the company
registration,
and all that.
bank account, settle everything. Then start, maybe it will be upgrade of the space, or maybe you will do it from current shell. Then you start working on the product itself. What will be the concept? If it's restaurant, beauty salon, what will differentiate you? How you will attract your clients? So you start thinking about that. Then it's launch, maybe event of the launch, maybe just launch, yes, and then start operating work, where we also sometimes we hire the team, sometimes they hire the team. Since we have good recruitment staff, we can hire the team also, and they just say, like, we launched, we gave you team, please. So that's it.
And from there on, like, to promote the business and to the regular business, they take care of you.
It always depends on what is required, because we like to fit, we don't want to interfere in the process. We want to fit the process. And if people feel that, for example, they need only strategic advisor, somebody they want to meet for brainstorm sessions twice in a month because they just want the view and they trust. It can be the role. Or they feel, no, better, we will have the outsourced team, just we know you will be handling this. you take care, we think about creative concept and so on, you take operations. Also setup. I noticed, maybe you heard about this very popular word in startup world, mostly in US. It's called the valley of death of startups. There is such statistics, the number of startups that started, initiated, and those who went to the end, and between these two dots there is a valley of death, because so many ideas are dead, not even started. Based on my experience, because I made already more than 30 different projects from idea to reality, I can say that usually it's because it's very hard to find the partner who can handle what you can't or don't want to handle. Because we try to do everything ourselves, even if we don't like it. But we try to handle it because we want to somehow do that.
Yeah.
But when you feel that it's time to introduce somebody to the team who is very experienced, who know how to do that, better to invest in that and give a chance to grow through professionalism than continue struggling. I think
That's so important. Yeah, I think so. Like when people start, they want to do everything on their own because they think this is my baby.
Mine, yeah.
But there are things that we are good at. There are things that we have to let other people do it. And so you mentioned those two categories of business, right? Like one is the physical businesses and the tangible ones, and then you have the technology businesses, right? The physical business, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the physical businesses, when it comes to the revenue model, it's pretty straightforward. You open a gym, your revenue model is that customers come in, they work out, they pay you.
Yeah.
This is simple. But when it comes to the technology side, the revenue model is a bit complicated than the physical business. Do you agree? Or
I can't say that it's complicated. It's just a bit different. It's two, I would say, portraits of entrepreneurship. One is classically less risk-oriented, another more risk-oriented. But nowadays, I can say that technology is also not so risk-oriented. It's also quite stable business. Maybe before, when it was not so popular, it was like new wave. Now it's absolutely part of normal business economy. In classical business, yes, you have more expectation that, for example, you invested amount of money, but if you say, it depends, of course, on the business. So, but you understand that you will invest maybe 1 hour. It will be one hour.
Year.
Yeah, it's our dream. 1 hour, my dream. It's just my dream. Yeah, in 1 year it will be turnover, and then it will be stable margin. But since we have seasonal factors, so everybody is expecting that 1 year turnover. Good if 1 year, maybe 1.5 years mostly, yes. Then it will be somewhere 30% of margin, and season, for example, summer season lower because of that. It's like expected. If the competition in this sphere is very high, the turnover will be a little bit longer, the margin will be less. But if we invest in marketing, we will attract. So classical situation. If we speak about technology, what good about technology is that you can scale faster. You create product. If you create it, for example, in English, you introduce it in one market, then second market, third market, fourth market. There is no limit. So this, the idea how to launch should be adjusted to cultural code of this market, but actually the product can be nearly the same. So you can reuse your product.
Global.
Yeah, you can take global. Yeah, that's what I love about technology, is that you feel that you are really a part of the world and you are free. Because I would say the biggest reason why I started this journey with entrepreneurship, it's this feeling to feel free.
Yeah.
To feel free that you're able to do whatever you want and you can dream and you can make steps towards your dream without any limits.
Yeah. What are some really nice, innovative technology ideas that you've got and that you've worked on? I mean, if it's already launched, you can share about it, right? You can talk about it.
I would say I can't share about the products we are developing now, but what we can say, for sure, applications. Applications are everywhere now, and it's a growing stream.
By applications, you mean?
For example, marketplace.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
two of our close people in close network, they are growing here. Two applications that already introduced in the market. There's two marketplaces, and they know their journey. For example, for 2 years they really created working models, and now you can upload them in parallel with Noon. For example, Noon is very well known. These people were brave enough to start on their own, and now please go to App Store in Dubai. You will see them also, and
Yeah.
I'm very proud of such stories. So there can be aggregator platforms, marketplace. There are some more interesting technologies, like not interesting, deeper technologies like deep tech. For example, I'm also launching podcast. In one of the episodes, we will talk about computer vision for sales. So they work on the sales level, and they work with, for example, the case of camel fertility. Yes, because such problem in animals, it exists. So some types of animals, they reducing in the world, and through the computer vision, they know how to use an AI, improve the cells. For me, it sounds blowing my mind.
Wow.
Yes, and AI is everywhere. So different spheres that before there were never technology there. Now technology are coming to all the spheres.
Especially AI, right?
Yeah.
Like you must have seen like a lot of new people coming up with new ideas,
Yeah.
building, including AI, and
Yeah.
yeah. And you spoke about the podcast here, like also platforms like Instagram, for LinkedIn. It is important for for the businesses to be present everywhere, and so like how does that work when when it's a new company? You're up against the big players in the market.
Maybe I would say unpopular idea, because even at home we have a little bit different views on this idea.
Okay.
But I feel that the world now, it's the world of being authentic. So being real. That's why before there were a lot of templates, and you can open, for example, what to say. We are even now ourselves in the process of rebranding management consultancy company, because if to open it, it's quite similar to many others, because before it was like a standard. We should all look proper. We should all look very how it's expected.
Yeah.
I think now it's time to be real. So better to explain about the business, having such a real discussion, and people will understand what the mentality is inside me and why I do this project like that. Yes,
Yeah.
because how I can show it on the standard photos. But to be presented everywhere, it's very important. It was my mistake that I was always hiding from social media, and now I'm changing this. Yeah. Thanks to you.
I love what you said about like being real. Like, so be everywhere, be real, just show the vulnerability. So when you look back now at your journey, right, like right from the corporate journey that you had to the entrepreneurship journey that you have, having learned what you have learned, having seen what you have seen, what is your advice for people who are just getting started in the world of business? They want to become entrepreneurs. What's your number one advice for them?
I think number one advice to myself, because I can only give advice to myself, but I really want to share that. Always believe in yourself, because these were the hardest years of my life. These were the hardest years of transformation, to transform my mentality from the small, safe place of corporate world. Even I felt that it's big, but actually quite small, limited the company, to worldwide. It was my dream, but when I stepped into that, I understood that this dream a little bit scary, because this freedom sometimes it's too much, and the number of my inner transformations that I went through, it's just enormous, and I'm so thankful for these hard years of changing me myself inside, that now I enjoy each and every day, and I just want to say that enjoy the journey, enjoy every day. Don't over-focus on the goals. of course, you should have your priorities. You should have this mind map picture where you're going. You should be focused, because otherwise you will waste time. You should be focused. But really try to enjoy each and every step. Because otherwise you can think that, okay, I will do, and sometime there I will enjoy my success. No, you're already successful. You have the ability to do these steps. You are real. You can do whatever you want. You are free, and you can really create like a creator. You can, out of your idea, create each and every day something.
Yeah.
So just don't forget that life is now. It's
Yeah.
not there, it's now.
Beautiful, beautiful advice. Katerina, for the people who are watching this and they want to get in touch with you,
Of course.
who can benefit from the
Yeah.
services that you provide, what's the best way to reach out to you?
We can give the link to our Greenfield management site, for example, and for my private Instagram, I always answer there. So I will be happy to be part of somebody's journey also, because the co-creation is very important nowadays.
Great, great. Katrina, as we wrap up here, one final question. How was your experience being on the Be Your Own Boss podcast?
It's beautiful, because I was expecting tough business questions, and I'm so thankful to you that I even did not notice that we spoke quite long time. I felt like I know you for a long time, and it's very important, this human-to-human connection, that you feel that thanks to you, I can be open and I can share. It's thanks to you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank
you.
you.
It means a lot. And thank you so much for taking out time and sharing your journey, your story with us. It was wonderful talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that was Katerina Zemskova, the business strategist, finance expert, and digital transformation expert. And if you want to grow your business, or if you're just getting started and if you want help, reach out to her. We'll add the link in the show notes and in the description in YouTube. And keep watching, keep listening to the Be Your Own Boss podcast.